Guys, Willie here with W.T.F car reviews, and today we're going to be reviewing the all-new 2024 Cadillac XT6 Sport.
And a big thanks to Jackson at AutoNation Cadillac in Port Richey, Florida for helping make this review possible. I'll leave links to our inventory below, and if you're looking for a new premium car or SUV in the Port Richey, Tampa, Clearwater area, I would definitely recommend checking these guys out.
And for those of you guys who don't know, the XT6 has been Cadillac's mid-size luxury three-row SUV since 2020. We already reviewed a 2022 XT6 on this channel, and there were a few visual updates for that year. And for 2024, the XT6 gains two new paint colors, neither of which we have here, but this is a top-of-the-line 2024 Cadillac XT6 Sport all-wheel drive with a technology package with a $60,290 base price, $2,350 additionally for the tech package. What else do we get for that money? Let's jump right in. So up front, you notice your LED daytime running strips down below. They're not actually flickering in real life. We have LED projector headlamps up top with some aluminum contrasting the headlight housing, black headlight housing, black grille down below, and for the side portion as well. We get a forward-facing camera and a $235 optional smoked Cadillac badge up front. We get this beautiful silver metallic paint color. I'll leave a link right here to show you exactly the name of this paint color. But in this Florida sun, this metallic really shines. We get full front parking sensing too, a 360-degree camera that's coming equipped on your technology package. And for the Sport, we get these extra beefy 20-inch rims wrapped in Michelin Primacy Tour all-season tires, dimensions being a square 235/55 R20 setup for the front and the rear. As you see, we get a beefy, looks like a 4, possibly a 6-piston Brembo brake caliper that says Cadillac up front with a red contrast. So we have some serious stopping power, and with this 235 square setup, the traction should be really impressive, and with these 55 series sidewalls, we should have excellent ride quality. We have an additional Cadillac badge for the fender area, body color mirrors with LED turn signal on them, subtle black trim for the frame itself with blind spot monitoring on the glass. We get all black trim for the window trim, black B and C pillars with black roof rails up top. Hopefully you can pick up the massive panoramic moonroof. We get 4-door smart access, subtle chrome for the lower part of the door trim. It says XT6 in the corner. Hopefully you can pick it up on camera. We get the same rear wheel and tire setup out rear, same dimensions, but the smaller brake caliper is the only difference. And although we get a smaller brake caliper, I definitely like how it's still painted red. We get a 6-lug pattern too. That's pretty beefy for a mid-size SUV. The gas cap is push to open. We get easy fill, and you can throw regular fuel in for this 3.6-liter V6. We get an additional side sensor for the 360, full LED taillights with black housing. We get the turn signals and reverse lights all LED. XT6 badge, all-wheel drive right beneath that. I kind of wish the badges were blacked out, but that's a very subtle complaint. We get the smoked Cadillac badge with some more aluminum trim underneath. 400 badge in the corner, full rear parking sensing, dual exhaust tips, and the trailer hitch in the center. I'll leave a link right here to show you exactly what this XT6 is rated to tow. But speaking of the exhaust tips, let's fire up this 3.6-liter V6 and hear how she sounds. Alright guys, that was the sound of the 3.6-liter V6 sold by Cadillac for the 2024 XT6, and it sounds okay, making a very healthy amount of power at 310 horsepower, 271 pound-feet of torque, enough to get this 4,700-pound all-wheel drive SUV, 3-row SUV to 60 in about 6.4 seconds. We get an aluminum stake that connects the two strut towers. We don't have anything additional in front of the grille, but as you see, we do get active shutters, which should help with the aerodynamics quite a bit. No active shutters down below, but we do get a couple additional supports for the bottom part of the radiator. We can shut this hood right down. Appreciate the hydraulic struts, but to be expected with an SUV in this price point. Speaking of SUV in this price point, this is a top-of-the-line 2024 XT6 Sport with the tech package. So let's see what we get for a SUV that starts over 60,000 bucks. We'll set the headlights right back to auto so it's not screaming at me. And up top we get some leather stitch trim with white contrast stitching, genuine carbon fiber for the center portion, aluminum door handle, more aluminum connecting the carbon fiber to the soft touch material down below. 2-person memory seats, Bose Performance Series audio system, and it sounds excellent. We get a gushy soft leather armrest, a little bit of storage down below, auto one touch up front for the bottom and up portion. We get auto one touch out rear, but only for the down. You have to press and hold for the way back up. We get power folding mirrors or 4-way adjustable solid storage down below. We can adjust the height of this tailgate. You can set it to max 3/4 if you're a little bit shorter, or you can turn off the power function altogether. Additional Bose speaker down below. We have an aluminum Cadillac emblem for the floor plate as we step inside. The seats, we get some overlapping leather with contrast stitching, the updated Cadillac badge part of the seat. They're gushy soft, fully adjustable, heated and ventilated. You can recline, drop, lift, and slide with lumbar control. Taking a step inside, we can really check it out. So foot on the brake, engine start, stop, and everything fires right to life. First thing we notice is the steering wheel. Cadillac's been doing a wonderful job with all their cars. Even their luxury vehicles have been getting much more performance-oriented wheels. Reminds me a lot of something you would get from BMW. Very thick, solid 10-2, 9-3 fits perfect in your hand. You get some carbon fiber outside of some aluminum trim. The Cadillac horn area is soft rubberized. The horn itself, loud and aggressive. People should be definitely getting out of your way. We'll do a window check, see if we get dual panes. We do get dual panes, and they feel very thick, to be expected with an SUV in this price point. And I like the design of these windows too. We get an additional little window up front that should help with the visibility for the corners, at least with this A-pillar, which isn't very thick, but it does get a little bit in the way, so it's nice they gave you this additional piece of glass. Anyway though, on the left side of the steering wheel, we have a cruise control settings, heated steering wheel, forward collision alert. You can hang up and answer your phone calls and voice commands. On the right side, you can skip your songs, adjust the infotainment, and adjust the volume. Speaking of the infotainment, right now we're looking at trip 1, you can see trip 2, fuel range, oil life, tire pressure, air filter life, fuel economy, and a blank screen with info pages options. You can also see the song that's currently playing, heads up turn by turn with a compass. You see your phone information and messages, and all the settings, display settings, heads up display adjustments, and we do get a pretty crisp resolution for the heads up display. We also get software information and all of that. My personal favorite to look at all times would probably be the trip information, so we'll leave it there. We get a really high revving 3.6 liter V6. The TAC is above 7,000 RPM. We'll see where it shifts when we take it out for a drive. That's a really high revving V6. We also have our fuel information as part of that gauge. On the right side, we have a 160 mile/an-hour speedometer, digital speedo up top. We have traffic sign recognition, lane keep assist, and our all-wheel drive information with cylinder deactivation. This 3.6 liter V6 can run on 6 or 4 cylinders for additional fuel economy. That's why the average MPGs here is over 20 MPGs. Really impressive for a luxury 3-row SUV. Coolant temperature in the right corner too. We get some aluminum paddle shifters. The stocks have a really satisfying click. Auto headlamps, auto high beams, and auto rain sensing wipers. To the left of the steering wheel, we have our electronic parking brake, interior brightness, heads up display adjustments, and a power tilt and telescoping steering column. We have more aluminum trim outside of this gloss black air control, more stitching for this entire dashboard, 2 air vents above the navigation screen. I actually prefer it this way so it blows directly into your face. Most manufacturers put the air vents underneath the navigation screen, but I like how they didn't do that here. Anyway, we get more carbon fiber trim all throughout the front of this dashboard. Engine start stop button, you have your mute and home screen with hard buttons. You can turn off the parking sensors for the front and rear and turn off the auto engine start stop. So here we have the 8-inch touchscreen with wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. You can see everything that we have available, video recorder, camera, we can check them out at all times. Here's a forward-facing camera and a 360, both have guidance lines and trajectory. Presses button over here and it switches to a backup camera. Presses button to the side, we have an over-the-top trailer hitch liner upper camera, also with guidance lines and trajectory even for the front. Side blind zone camera, so you don't have to worry about scuffing up these nice 20-inch rims, and you can turn on and off the guidance lines and trajectory for one reason or another. And you can turn off the 360 too if you just want to see the over-the-top screen. Anyway though, we can press this home button and it returns us right back to our home screen. Climate, rear climate, all adjustable through this touchscreen. My personal favorite to look at all time would be the nav screen, and it's a really high resolution display. It responds just like an iPhone. Big thumbs up to GM. We'll recenter it. Anyway though, that's about it. We get dual zone front climate control, heated and ventilated front seats, vent controls in the center with touch sensitive buttons for the defroster, but I'm not going to complain that they're not hard actual buttons because at least we don't have to go through the infotainment screen like some of the new vehicles. We get soft touch materials for where your knee will often hit with some stitching over here to the side, more stitching for the center of this dashboard with pretty solid storage cutout. The gear selector controls a 9-speed automatic transmission. We already checked out the backup camera. We can do it one more time. Pretty high resolution, and the seat vibrates when you get close to objects behind you. We have our volume and skip controls, perfect location for the driver and a front passenger. If you don't want to get fingerprints all over the touchscreen, you can use this dial with music, navigation, return, and phone shortcuts. Our cup holders, you can take a quick look at this Cadillac key first. We do get remote engine start stop, cool. Anyway, we can open up these cup holders, which are outlined in leather stitch trim. You'll fit 24-ounce cups with some metal down below and a pass-through, good spot for a wallet or a phone. We also have a wireless phone charger in this cubby. You can turn off the traction control and the drive mode selector. We get Tour, all-wheel drive, sport, and off-road. We'll start the review off in just regular all-wheel drive mode. We'll transition into sport, maybe try out the two-wheel drive mode and just see what the differences are. The armrest is gushy soft leather trim. You can open it up. It's a 2-tier glove box. This first tier will hold a little bit of car accessories, and this bottom tier is large. You'll easily fit 3, maybe 4 1-liter bottles of soda, possibly 2 2-liters, and you get an additional USB-A and C port with an SD card. Throw this thing right back. The console is also lit up, so at night you can have a pretty good idea of what you got going on in there. The glove box is all soft touch material, even for the glove box itself. You pull this latch, it is damped, lined felt, and massive. One of the largest glove boxes in the segment. You'll fit 35 plus license plates in there, easily fit 2 pairs of shoes, maybe even 3 pairs if you're under a size 10. We get a frameless auto-dimming digital rear view mirror with 3 adjustments for the digital rear view mirror, 3 garage home link settings up top. The interior lights are LED, and a massive panoramic moonroof. You can open up the shade right up. With a click of a button, it opens up automatically. It'll take a second, but as you see, that first panel of glass is really large. As soon as the shade opens up, we'll open up the entire roof. So you press it twice and it opens up on top of the second panel of glass. See if it goes out any further. It does, all the way out to the end of the moonroof. This is a massive opening moonroof, just like the XT4 reviewed in this channel, well into the second row, almost like a convertible out here. Beautiful day in Port Richey, sunny and 92 degrees. We just had a hurricane, so hopefully we have a couple weeks at least of some good weather. We can shut this moonroof right up. With a click of a button, it closes up automatically. We'll leave the shade open so when we hop out back, you can see how much light is brought into the cabin, but that's about it for the front seat of this 2024 Cadillac XT6 Sport all-wheel drive. We'll take a quick look at this window sticker, see any features I may have missed. The exterior, we get the Argent Silver Metallic. Interior, we get jet black, engine 3.6, direct injection, variable valve timing, 9-speed automatic transmission. So the Sport, we get a $60,295 base price. You can pause, take a look at all the standard equipment options, starting with the $2,350 tech package. Here we get a 360 camera, automatic park assist with automatic braking, 8-inch color gauge display that you have right here up front. We get a heads-up display, rear pedestrian alert, and a surround vision recorder. We also get a rear camera mirror with a washer. The 6-passenger captain chairs out rear, that's an $800 option. We'll check that out in 1 second. And the monochrome Cadillac emblems are $225. So after $3,375 in total options and a $1,395 destination charge, we're sitting a tick over $65,000. So we are getting up there in price, but we have a ton of features to show for it. 21 combined MPGs, 18 in the city, 25 on the highway. That's about it though, guys. We can put this window sticker down, hop out back, see how much space is offered back there, check out the cargo space, and then take this 2024 XT6 out for a drive. So up top, just like up front, we have this 2-tier leather stitch trim, carbon fiber in the center, aluminum door handle, 2 Bose Premium Series sound speakers, and they sound absolutely incredible. Gushy soft leather armrest, additional storage pocket, auto one touch for the way down, but you gotta press and hold for the way back up. It's just a single pane of glass, but it's a very thick one at that. Down below, we have a little bit of storage. You'll easily fit a big gulp, but make sure the lid is tightly closed because it is very sideways. We have an additional Cadillac emblem for the floor plate as we step inside. We'll unbutton the seat belts and we hop out into the third row. We're gonna do it from the passenger side because as you see, that passenger side third row seat is up and the floor mat is in the way for the driver's side. But anyway, the seats themselves have pretty good bolstering for a back seat. They're perforated in the center, heated, not ventilated, but taking a step inside, I'm a little bit over 6 feet tall, sitting behind my seat settings, and I still have about 3-4 inches of knee room, about 1 inch, maybe 2 of headroom. So if you're under 6'4", 6'5", you should be able to sit behind your seat settings with no problem. We get mat pockets behind both of the front seats. Third zone climate control with heated rear seats, aluminum Cadillac outlined for the climate control. Down below, we have some additional storage, 2 cup holders, you'll fit 24-ounce bottles, USB-A and USB-C port right above that. We get armrests for the back seat too, pretty wide. You'll fit a full-size arm with no problem. Ton of light brought into the cabin thanks to this massive panoramic moonroof. You might notice there's no air vents for the center console area, but we have some that blow directly into our face. That's exactly where I prefer the location for the air vents to be. The interior lights back here, LED. We get a hook, part of the grab handle, perfect for a suit or a dress. Same thing on the opposite side. We'll hop out of here from the passenger side, making it a little bit easy to check out the third row seat that we're about to check out. And another thing that's pretty cool is we have hard buttons to lift and fold down the third row seats. We'll unbuckle the seatbelt, push the seat forward, makes it pretty easy getting in and out. And let's do exactly that. Hop in, pull the seat back, and as you see, with the seat all the way in its furthest back setting, my knees are about to start rubbing, but that's really convenient because you can simply just push the seat forward an inch or two and I'll fit back here with no problem. Headroom, I have about an inch, maybe an inch and a half with an additional air vent that blows directly into your face. The interior light back here is LED. Materials back here are just hard plastic, but we get a cup holder, USB-C port, and an overall pretty spacious third row seat. Let's hop out of here, check out how much cargo space we have with the third row seats up and with the third row seats down, and then take this 2024 XT6 out for a drive. So out back, underneath the Cadillac emblem is a button to open up the power opening lift gate. And as you see, with the third row seats up, there isn't a whole lot of space behind them, but we do get a little bit of secret storage down here. So if you plan on leaving the third row seats up, I'd remove this tray and just use about an additional 2, maybe 3 cubic feet of space. Underneath that, we have even more storage, but that's where the spare tire is. So I personally wouldn't put anything down over there. Anyway though, we can fold the third row seats down with a click of a button. Just gotta press and hold, and the third row seat falls right down. And we accidentally dropped the second row seat first. But as you see, with the third row seats down, we have a very spacious cargo space. You fold those second row seats down, I'd expect you to fit a 75, maybe 80-inch TV back here. I'll leave a link right here to show you how much cargo space is behind the third row, behind the second row, and how much space you have with the second row folded down. But that's about it though, guys, for the cargo space. What you see is basically what we get. We can press this button up top and the trunk immediately closes. So if you have grocery bags in your hands, make sure you get out of the way or you might get doofed in the head. Another thing I didn't mention, we have some black trim outside of the spoiler area and an additional rear view mirror camera with its own washer. Anyway though, we'll walk around this 2024 Cadillac XT6 one more time. It is a beautiful SUV, both inside and out. For the money, I understand we're getting up there in price, but as you see, for this interior, exterior, they knocked this SUV out of the park. Performance-wise, let's take it out for a drive and see what it's got. All right, guys, now we're just about seen everything we need to see with the inside and outside of the all-new 2024 Cadillac XT6 Sport all-wheel drive. Let's take it out for a drive and see what it's got. First thing I noticed, the throttle response is excellent. The steering feels awesome, just like all the other GM vehicles. We'll take a step out onto this road, open her up a little bit more. Ooh. Wow, this thing's strong. Ooh. Quick shifts, sounds good. This thing can move. I can definitely see 0 to 60 happening in about 6.4 seconds, especially with the all-wheel drive system getting that hard launch immediately off the line. We'll try out these paddle shifters, little rev match downshifts. Oh yes. Woo. Yeah, and it lets us rev past 6,500 too in the manual shift modes. Right there, it shifted about 7,000. So this is a high revving V6. It is a screamer. These high revving V6s aren't something that you're seeing a lot anymore, especially in the mid-size luxury segment. We're seeing a lot of turbocharged engines, whether they're turbo 4s or turbo 6s, which I'm not going to necessarily complain about because a lot of these turbocharged engines make a boatload of power. But as far as reliability, as far as high revving noise, you just don't get that from a turbo like you would get from a naturally aspirated engine. Turning radius in the XT6 is sharp. We can try out an acceleration off the line. In all-wheel drive, we'll try it out in sport mode, see what changes up. Sport mode, on the gas. Ooh, good off the line. Power. Wow. Yeah. It shifts about 6,500 when you're in automatic mode. But in manual mode, check it out. Third gear, second gear, on the gas. 7,000. It does shift the automatic
automatically once you hit redline, but it lets you rev all the way up to about 7,000 RPM. This thing is a screamer. We don't have to beat it up a whole lot further, just fourth gear, good mid-range, quick shifts. They take about a half second to respond from the time you press on the paddle itself, but it's quick enough for a luxury SUV. I'm sure most people that buy the XT6 aren't going to be playing around with the paddle shifters, at least not too much. Also though, in sport mode, the steering gets a little bit tighter, very well weighted. This really feels like something that you would get from BMW. Although honestly, this interior is more premium than what you would get from a BMW, especially at this price point. Granted, at this price point, a BMW, like say X5, or even like an X3 M40 will have a lot more power with their turbocharged engines. Try it out through the twisty. Steering feels good, and coming out. Yeah, this thing is a screamer. I'm liking it. Rev match downshifts. Cool. We'll take it out of sport mode. We don't have to beat it up a whole lot further. We already tried it out in regular all-wheel drive. We just tried it out in sport, which keeps the all-wheel drive. Now let's try it out in tour mode. The steering immediately gets a little bit lighter. The ride quality, really good. Really good ride quality. It soaks up the bumps excellently. It's not going to be like an Escalade, of course, but for Cadillac's mid-size three-row SUV, which starts 15, 20, 30,000 in some applications below the Escalade, this ride quality is fantastic. Turning radius is also excellent. We can take a step out here in front-wheel drive mode on the gas. Whoop, puts the power down. Wow, it actually feels quicker, and you rev all the way to 7,000 RPM even in automatic mode when you're in two-wheel drive. Steering still feels really good. It's definitely lighter, but it still feels very, very good. And on this concrete pavement with these dual pane windows, you don't really hear anything. The wind noise is super isolated. The road noise is essentially non-existent. This is a really premium SUV. We'll try to step out into a highway, open her up a little bit more, and these brakes feel so good with these beefy Brembos up front. If you're looking for an XT6, I understand the Sport is expensive with a base price of $60,000, but if you're also looking at vehicles like an Acura MDX or comparing them to Infiniti QX60, please check out the XT6 Sport. This is a sleek, fun to drive SUV. All right guys, taking a step out here, we'll lean into it about third throttle, daily acceleration, good low end, good mid-range, quick shifts. Guys, this is a really impressive luxury SUV. At highway speed, you don't really hear anything. These dual pane windows do such a great job of keeping you isolated from the road. Overall, guys, if you're looking for a luxury three-row SUV, you don't want to spend more than $60,000 to $65,000, but you do want something that's top-notch premium, I would definitely recommend checking this out, especially if you're not into the whole turbocharged thing. If you'd rather have a naturally aspirated V6 engine, this is one of the last SUVs that you can do so with. It's a sleek looker, especially with these 20-inch rims and beefy Brembo front calipers. The V6 is strong. The luxury inside here is top-notch, especially with the heated and ventilated seats. Heads-up display, booming audio system with these Bose speakers. If you're looking for something like that, guys, I would definitely recommend checking out the 2024 Cadillac XT6 Sport. And a big thanks to AutoNation Cadillac in Port Richey, Florida for helping make this review possible. I'll leave a link to their inventory below, and if you're looking for a new premium car or SUV in the Port Richey area, I would definitely recommend checking these guys out. And huge thanks to all of you for watching. I had a great time making this video. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. If you already subscribed, thank you so much. You guys know the channel is just not possible without you, and I really appreciate the constant support. But again, if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. Leave a like too, it really helps me out with the YouTube algorithm. That's how these videos get promoted to new people. Leave a comment, let me know what you like, let me know what you don't like. Leave a comment, let me know if there's any specific cars, SUVs, or trucks you want to see reviewed on this channel, and I'll definitely try getting those videos for you ASAP. But other than that, again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope all of you have a great day.